Hey guys, Metal Driver here bringing you another McFarlane Toys DC figure and custom cape review. Today I'll be looking at the Dark Knight Returns Batman figure and GPS lot custom cape. This figure comes with the front legs and tail for the Build-A-Figure horse, so we'll take a look at those pieces, the accessories that this figure comes with, the figure itself, then I'll show you how to apply this cape onto the figure, and we'll take a look at that finished product. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the Dark Knight. Looking at all the accessories that this figure comes with, as I mentioned, it comes with the pieces for the Build-A-Figure horse, comes with a trading card, the nice toy photography image on the front, and a data file on the back. We get two interchangeable fisted hands, a figure stand with the DC logo, and a pre-posed rope attached to a batarang. And then before I take a look at the whole figure, looking at this head sculpt, it is sculpted really well. You see a lot of nice details on the mask, and in the face, he's got this gritting teeth, which I think is a nice expression to use, especially when I'm thinking of the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's illustrations. A lot of them show Batman showing off his teeth. It is painted very well, the teeth, the lips, the flesh tones. So again, good sculpting all around. The mask. Now, my only minor gripe with this head sculpt is that the ears, I think they're a little bit small, or I should say too small. Now, yes, I know this depiction of Batman has the smaller ears. However, I do believe the Mattel and even the Mafex version, the ears were just slightly, just a tad bit longer. Now, I know to some that's not really that big of a deal. The difference may be insignificant, but for me, I think it just makes the head look a little bit better on those figures. But again, it's just a very minor gripe. That's just my own preference. Now, looking at the rest of the figure, I'm going to try my best not to spend too much time on the figure itself because I'm pretty sure you've already seen reviews on this. So I'll try to give my quick thoughts. I think that the sculpt work on the body looks really good. See all these details all over the suit, all these wrinkles, these folds all over the body of the figure. You see that on the arms and the legs. See this line work on the legs and the arms as well. The gloves have these nice details. Again, nice folds. So it's not just a smooth piece. So really good sculpt work all around. That's something that I can definitely commend McFarlane Toys for doing. And I like the bat symbol. It's nice, big, and thick. It does look like it is a separate piece from the chest, so that looks really cool. Now, the only thing that looks a little bit funny is that the proportions on the figure, mainly on the torso to the legs, look a little bit off. It's not enough to really ruin the figure for me, but I think the upper body should be a little bit wider. That's just my opinion. And the figure features some great articulation as well. Some good movement around the neck area. By the head, it looks like there's a ball joint. Got your standard hinges on the arms, on the shoulders, they rotate all the way around. We get a butterfly joint in there. Unfortunately, there is no bicep swivel, but instead we do get a swivel at the elbow joint. Not the biggest fan of that. I would have preferred a bicep swivel, but at least there is some sort of movement there. Hinge and rotation at the wrist. There are ball joints at the upper diaphragm and the waist, but they are a bit limited. Either that or it's very stiff on mine. Legs spread out very well. They go up. There is a thigh cut on the figure, which is really cool and surprising because most McFarlane toy figures from DC don't really have that. There's also additional rotation within the hip area of the leg, where the leg connects. Double jointed knees. Rotation down at the ankle, not a traditional ankle pivot or rocker, hinge at the ankle, and toe articulation. Alright, so hopefully I did not spend too much time on the figure. So now we can get into putting that custom cape. I am using again the GPS lot cape. Specifically, it's the Arkham Asylum cape. So that hole around the cape, I don't think it's big enough for this figure, but you can fix that with a pair of scissors. Hopefully I won't ruin the cape by doing that. So in order to customize this, I'm going to need to use a hairdryer to soften the plastic on the cape, specifically on the back here where it pegs into the back. Then I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut through that once it's nice and soft. And then I shouldn't need to use a X-Acto knife here. This should be able to peel off once it's soft enough. But if I do need to use that knife, I will do so. So I'm going to show you how it looks when the cape is off. So I'm going to go ahead, remove this with that hairdryer and an X-Acto knife. So I will be right back. Alright, so here's how it looks without the plastic cape. And now here it is without the head. So right now it's going to be a headless figure because that's going to be the best way to place the cape over. So as you can see, the hole is not large enough, so I am going to have to cut this with a pair of scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so that way I can fit this over the neck piece of the figure. So that way the cape is just sitting and resting over the figure naturally. It's not just floating over here, over the neck, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so I ended up making the hole a little bit bigger. As I said, the hole was a little too small, so now it fits over the neck piece. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue underneath here, right at the base of the neck, and then just have the cape rest over it. Then we'll see how that looks. Alright, and here's the Dark Knight Returns Batman with the custom cape on, and it looks really, really nice. The cape is nice and big, it's wide, it's got a perfect wingspan for this figure. It looks really good on it. Again, this was labeled the Arkham Asylum cape, so the hole around the neck piece was suited more for the neck on that figure, so this one, again, I had to cut around it to make it a little bigger, so that way it would fit around the neck, and yeah, you can kind of see how that doesn't really look good around the neck. It shouldn't rip, at least I don't think. I did glue the cape on, so it should stay in place, but the wires through the cape give this figure some nice posability, so you can get some dynamic actions with this figure. Alright, now to do some quick comparisons with the rest of the figures from this wave, here's the Dark Knight Batman next to Robin. Here he is next to the Joker, next to Superman, next to the Build-A-Figure horse, and then here's Batman on top of the horse. And then for you wrestling fans out there, here is Adam Page next to the horse, and here he is riding the horse. Alright, so what are my final thoughts? Well, I think the Dark Knight Returns Batman itself is a really great figure. I love the sculpt work, and the articulation is really good, minus the omission of the bicep swivel. Now, using this GPS lock cape, it really takes this figure to a new level in my opinion, and makes it even better. And I think this combination is really good, especially for the price point. You got a $25 figure, the cape was about $20, so you're spending less than $50. So in order to get a Dark Knight Returns Batman with a wired cape, you're looking at the Mafex one, which is, I think, either $100 or over $100. So I think using a custom cape on this Batman is worth applying. Now again, I used the GPS lock cape, specifically the Arkham Asylum. That one was tailor-made for that figure. So yeah, the fabric around the neck isn't that great, but I think it works for this figure. And I think any other custom cape would look good on this, especially a wired one. So if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about custom capes on the McFarlane toy figures? I am looking to do another one, hopefully in the near future, with the Rebirth Batman figure that recently came out. So hopefully these upcoming McFarlane reviews with custom capes, they do well. Hopefully they get enough engagement. That'll inspire me to do more in the future. Check out my social media pages for my action figure photography, and I'll see you next time.